Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Elizabeth and I run the blog lifefromtheviolasection.com where I share my favorite practice tips, general advice, and tech for musicians. Today I'm excited to try something new and add some acoustic foam panels to my studio. We moved into this house a little over a year ago in April of 2024, and the studio space is absolutely perfect for teaching viola, violin, and piano lessons. There's lots of room in here. It's very cute, cozy, and I feel like it has a pretty good sound. Now the thing is though that there's a stairway kind of opposite of where I am. You'll see later in the video kind of more of how my studio is actually set up and how this all works, but there is a staircase in this room and a lot of sound travels up that staircase and bounces around and makes its way upstairs. So Guerri was kind enough to send me a bunch of their acoustic foam panels for me to try out in my studio today. We're going to see if it makes a difference, and you know, even just holding this in front of my face I can hear my voice is deadened quite a bit. So I'm very excited to put these up today. So Guerri makes these 3-inch foam panels. They do have some that are wedges like this, but they also sell spikes that look kind of like cones that come out in like a grid pattern. So they sent me many of these to put all around my studio. Now I do already have a little bit of sound deadening in my studio. I got some big heavy duty acoustic sound deadening panels for free, and I do have those up around my staircase, but I feel like adding a lot more is definitely going to help. So the foam panels can help sound from bouncing off of the walls. When you get sound into foam, it kind of absorbs a lot of that sound and it takes out a lot of reverb. I just wanted to add in a little note that what I have currently are these fabric covered acoustic panels. These are very heavy duty, like pretty heavy, and it feels like a felt sort of material that covers these panels. And Pacho says hi. He loves to scratch on these. But anyway, now after doing some research, I've read that these types of panels are best to stop sound from going to other rooms. So this is basically the right kind of acoustic panel to have in this area. Now, I do think that I need a lot more of them to actually really do anything. Just have this one, that one, and then 2 up here on this ledge, but then nothing on these walls or on the door. Could really use a lot more insulation and sound deadening there, but the foam panels are better for stopping sound within a room, not really for kind of sound bleed between rooms. So I'm really going to place these sound panels within the room to stop a lot of reverb, essentially. My first order of business is going to be to place these around the room and kind of see where I want to put them before I actually put them down. So I've just kind of placed the foam sound panels in spots where I think they might be good. Some of them have fallen already, but just to kind of give myself an idea of what works, I've actually had these up for a couple days now, just so that I can play around with the acoustics, and I think that these are in pretty good spots. So I'll be using this 3M double-sided tape to stick the foam panels to the wall. I haven't done this before, but it was recommended on the internet, so we will see how well they stay. So, you know, I am making this video about a week before it's gonna go up, so we will see if they actually stay in place over the next week. If not, then that means that this probably isn't a good option. If so, then I hope that they are, but you never know how long just adhesive is going to last on the walls. These walls are a little tricky to nail into. This is very thin panel board on the wall with cinder blocks behind them. So I don't love trying to actually hang things up on the walls down here. As much as I love wall art and anything, I try to do as much with command strips and hooks as I can down here. So adhesive it is for now. If this doesn't work, the next thing that I would try would be at using probably spray adhesive on the foam onto large pieces of cardboard and then hanging those pieces of cardboard up. I feel like that and just nailing them right into the wall are the most reliable ways to actually put foam panels onto the wall. For now though, these double-sided adhesives were not very expensive. They were about $7 on Amazon for 100 of them, and this is just my best option for now. So we'll see how this goes. Where I'm standing right now is where my music stand usually is in the studio. So most students are playing facing this direction with the sound coming to this window and to where my degrees and wall art are. So we're gonna be focusing a lot of the sound panels right there because that's the first point of contact that they get. Then I'm going to put some on the other walls. You kind of saw the locations, but I just wanted to explain a little bit of why I chose the places that I did. So all of the sound panels are up now across the room. They are mostly focused on this half because that is where the F-holes of the instruments that me and my students play face. There is a little bit of an empty spot on this half of the room. Just since I have such a large teaching studio, it would require a lot of foam panels to make a huge difference. But let's do some test recordings before and after I've put the sound panels up. Also, just a warning, I am wearing the same shirt in the before videos. I actually made that video months ago as a Mother's Day gift to my mom. So I promise that those are actually old videos. I did not just do that today with the sound panels up. So me in this shirt, pre-sound panels. Me in the pink floral shirt that I was wearing earlier in this video, post-sound panels. Okay, awesome. Oh no! Did that show up? My computer made it do an effect. Wow. Okay, anyway, here it is without sound panels. You heard it. The effect was somewhat minimal, but before I had the foam panels up, the sound resonated just a little bit more and it lasted for a longer amount of time. And then with the foam panels up, the sound was a little bit more direct and concentrated and reverberated just a little bit less. So it does make a difference, but I feel like in my large studio, it would take a lot more foam panels to make a big dramatic effect. But it is nice, and I feel like I can hear the clarity of the sound a little bit better as well. So those are the Guerri foam panels up in my studio. I feel like it is a little bit less echoey in here, and especially when I or my students are playing, it's a little bit less reverby and it's a little easier to hear exactly what's coming from the instrument itself. So I'm happy to have these up in my studio, and I would like to get some more dense sound panels similar to what I already have, but a lot more of them for in the stairwell so that the sound bounces around a lot less over there and so that the sound doesn't go upstairs quite as much. I know just sound panels themselves will not fully stop that. A lot of it has to do with insulation and just the way that the space is built, but I think that having a lot more sound panels up in the stairwell will really help with that issue. But within the studio itself, the foam panels work out really well. I do think I would need quite a bit more, especially over here in the studio. I haven't put any. The F-holes on the instruments are not facing this direction, but you can definitely tell within the room that there's a lot more echoing and resonance going on over there. So just since I do have a large studio space, a lot more of these foam panels would definitely show a more noticeable difference. I think that these are very nice foam panels, and the more that you buy, the better discount that you get, just like buying anything in bulk. So I will leave their Amazon shop down below for you to check out the foam panels. They work as any foam panel should, so I recommend them if you are trying to create your own recording studio or just a teaching space where you want to hear things with a lot of clarity. These will really get the job done. All right, that is everything for today. Thank you for tuning into my acoustic experiment. If you liked today's video, please consider subscribing. I post new videos every Sunday at noon Eastern time. Thanks for watching.